All right, week 2 recap. We are just going to recap some of these games and talk about some players that showed some stuff. Bills and Dolphins. This game was unfortunate. Prayers out to Tua. This is rough. This is rough for anybody who has players on the Dolphins. I don't know what they're going to do. Their backup, whatever, Skyle, whatever the hell, he is terrible. That dude, that guy's awful. They need to make a move. They need to find somebody else. I don't know what's going to happen with Tua. This is like his sixth or seventh concussion. Like they're talking about potential retirement. I know Tua doesn't want to do that, but they need to look at it like that. He is borderline. This is not good. Devon Achan looked amazing. That dude is potentially a league winner. If they can kind of figure out their stuff and they can keep doing what they're doing, that dude is a potential league winner for sure. On the Bills end of things, James Cook went crazy, like crazy. He had 3 tutties, like it was nuts. If you Skylar Thompson, that's his name. James Cook, he killed it. You know, the Bills passing, I don't know what's going on with it. They're kind of running to this different offensive style now, where they're doing more like they seem to be a run first team right now, and it seems to be working for them. So I'm not an overly huge fan of anybody on Buffalo's. Like I have Keon Coleman in a couple of my leagues, and I don't know. I don't trust anybody in the Buffalo receiving core currently, just because they're running it and it's working for them. Let's jump over to the Niners and the Vikings game. The Vikings, my team right there, Skull baby, let's go. Let's bring up the box score. The Vikings look good, and I posted a tweet about this on X or whatever you want to call it. The Vikings defense is wildly underrated. Wildly underrated. We did such a good job, like with turnovers and just shutting things down. Like I know, like Mason went for 100 yards, like Purdy threw for 319, but like as a whole, our defense looked really, really good. Sam Darnold looks excellent. Like I'm very, very satisfied with, excuse me, what he's been having going. Uh, Speaking of though, Jordan Mason, uh, he looks great. Like I know, like all you McCaffrey owners, if you got Jordan Mason to replace McCaffrey, just hold on to him, man. Just hold on to McCaffrey and just keep running Mason. Like they have a solid up front. So I would just Jordan Mason looks great. He is doing excellent. Ty Chandler looked excellent as well. He's another one in a little bit deeper leagues. If you needed another running back, Ty Chandler looks good. He looks real good, and he's, as you can see right here, he had 10 carries. Aaron Jones had 9. Like they're clearly splitting carries. I would assume it's to keep Jones has had a little bit of injury problems, so like I would assume it's to just keep him healthy and keep things going. Brock Purdy looked good too. I know, like fantasy wise, he didn't do amazing, but 28 for 36, he threw for 319 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He did well. He did. He looked good out there. Debo looked fantastic. He's such a good utility player. It was good to see George Kittle get back in the mix. 7 receptions on 8 targets. Debo had 8 on 10. Debo did go down, so Brandon Ayuk is going to be probably a must play coming up here. Justin Jefferson looked amazing. Hopefully his injury's nothing crazy. He says it's not. O'Connell says it's not. So hopefully, because he looked fucking excellent. Jalen Naylor too. He's another one. Deeper leagues, like they target him in the red zone like a lot. Like Naylor catches touchdowns. He is definitely a trusted red zone target for Sam Darnold. That is all I'm going to speak on the Vikings game. Go Vikes. We won 2-0, baby. Let's jump to the next one. Saints and Cowboys. Holy shit, did anybody see this coming? Cowboys are what, a top 5 defense? Like, what the hell happened? I will eat my words on this right now. I hated on Alvin Kamara all offseason. I did. I wasn't a believer. I didn't buy into it. I thought he was washed. I thought he was going to have a downer year. But holy shit, dude heard me. He's making me eat my words. Alvin Kamara is a RB1, possibly a fantasy season winner. He looks incredible. And they are clearly running this offense through him. And as long as Derek Carr can stay healthy and on the field, the Saints are kind of looking like the real deal. Their defense is decent. They're looking real good. And speaking of, Rashid Shaheed is my number one waiver wire pickup going into week 3. He has back-to-back 20-point games. He's a must grab. Like, Derek Carr loves him. The dude stretches the field. He looks amazing. Chris Olave, he pairs so well with him. Like that, this receiving core with Alvin Kamara underneath, with the potential to run and catch, is fucking dangerous. Dangerous. It's good to see Derek Carr running an offense again and looking all right. On the Dallas side of things, what the fuck happened, Dallas? What are the boys doing? Like, man, Dak. 293, that's great, but man, you did not look your best. You didn't, and I blame it 100% right here on this fucking Dallas running game. They don't have it, man. They don't have a fucking running back, and it is killing them. They cannot just pass. Like, CD did great. He had 4 catches, 90 yards, touchdown. It's what we expect on 7 targets. Jalen Tolbert got targeted a lot. He's another one. Going into week 3, there was a lot of injuries to wide receivers and stuff. Jalen Tolbert, pick him up. Like, he had 9 targets, 6 receptions. He had 82 yards. No, he didn't catch the touchdown, but he clearly, Dak likes him. Dak likes to throw that way. Dallas needs to do something about this running game. They need to, I don't know if they need to develop Dalvin Cook or something, or what they got to do in here, but this is a problem. This is a big, big problem for Dallas. They should not have lost this game. Or at the very least, it should have been much, much closer than it was. So, yeah, this is a problem. I don't know what the Dallas is going, but shout out Saints. I don't even like y'all, but hell of a game. You guys look great. Next game. What are we looking for? Oh, Bucks and the Lions. Yo, this game. Detroit should not have lost this game. They shouldn't. I like Baker. Baker played great. He is managing really well. 12 for 19, 185 yards, threw a touchdown, threw an interception. Like, he's managing the game, right? Baker never runs, for starters. I'd like to just point this out. If you have Rashid White, this is a little bit concerning. This is concerning. If you have Rashid White, this is concerning. Because he carried the ball an average of 22 times last season. Splitting handoffs with Bucky Irving is a problem. Chris Godwin, it is good to see you come back to the mix. I know last year you were a little bit hit and miss with your injuries, but it is good to see you back. Mike Evans had a little bit of a downer game, which was kind of a bummer. I would have liked to see him land a touchdown. He's just Mr. Consistent. But Chris Godwin, let him cook. Let him cook, right? That's all I really got to say on them. Jalen McMillan looked all right. He 2 targets. He caught one of them for 21 yards. Nothing crazy, but Detroit has a wicked pass rush. This is the game. Aiden Hutchinson had 6 sacks in the single game? 5? I don't remember. 5 or 6 sacks. That's a lot. Goff, man, 2 interceptions. 300 yards. That's great, but you threw the ball 55 times. You need to be throwing touchdowns. This doesn't work. The rushing game did what you needed him to do. David Montgomery could have pounded the ball a little bit better, but he got him in the end zone like he's supposed to. He's the red zone guy. And Jahmyr Gibbs, 84 yards, 13 carries. He looked all right. 6.5 yard average. It's solid. We'll take it. So their run game looked fine. Jumping, Amon-Ra, great game. He was easily the best. I don't want to say the best. He was the safest round 1 pick. He was by far the safest. This is what we're looking for. 11 receptions on 19 fucking targets. That is incredible. 119 yards, looked amazing. Jameson Williams, I said this last week. If he happens to still be on the waiver, he should not be. Go get him. Go get this man. He is a deep threat. He runs the ball. He had 11 targets, 5 catches, 79 yards. Back-to-back weeks now, he is putting up yards. He is solid. Let's see. Hold on, I want to check that. Yeah, 5. Well, it says 4.5, but I'm pretty certain they racked it as 5. But 4.5 sacks, that's incredible. That's in a single game. Holy shit, that man is getting after it. That is all I got for the Detroit Bucks game. All right, Colts and Packers. Okay. I gotta say this. Dallas, Dallas, you had no right to lose. Like, you shouldn't have. But, like, holy shit, Colts fans, Indianapolis, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You lost to Malik Willis? What happened? How did this happen? All you had to do was stack the box. This man cannot throw. He cannot throw. His average throw, 8 yards, you guys. Like, he's not good. He is awful. How did you lose this fucking game? All right. Anyways, Anthony Richardson did not look good. He looked very uncomfortable. He threw 3 picks. He looked. He did not look good. He just didn't. Like, they need to drop new game plan for this motherfucker. Jonathan Taylor did what we wanted him to do. 12 carries, 103 yards, like averaging 8.5 yards a carry. My man. I'd like to see you get in the end zone. I was a little bit sad. I was. It was big sad. Alec Pierce, for back-to-back weeks, is the number one target for Indy. He was looking good. I don't know why we can't feed Pittman more. Like, last season when Anthony Richardson was in, even for the couple games, like, Pittman was, like, making, like, 9 catches a game. They were, like, all shorter routes and stuff like that, but, like, he was there. Like, they were feeding him. So, Indy, I think, needs to work on this. To be fair, I will say, Anthony Richardson only played a couple games last year. Then he was hurt. He was out all season. So, he does not have the same amount of reps that a lot of, like, obviously the other quarterbacks of his class have. So, like, he's kind of a rookie this season again. Like, this is kind of his rookie season, barring he plays the whole season. Malik Willis, no, he's awful. This is a fluke. It's a fluke. Josh Jacobs, 32 carries. Like, this man is a monster. But, like, this is all Green Bay has, right? Like, because, like I said, Malik cannot throw the ball. That's why Josh Jacobs had 32 fucking carries. Because if you go back a week, he did not have 32 carries when they had Jordan Love in there. Like, Malik is not good. This is a fluke. This was a fluke. I don't know how the Colts let this happen. I worry about everybody on Green Bay's receiving corps because, once again, I will say it again, Malik Willis is terrible. He can't throw the ball. So, I would be very skeptical moving forward in fantasy with anybody on the Green Bay receiving corps. Josh Jacobs is a must start. As long as Malik Willis is in there, this is going to continue to happen. They're going to give him the ball over and over and over and over and over again. And then they're going to let Malik Willis do these little 5-yard dump passes and shit, and that's it. So that's where these guys are getting their catches. That is all I got for that. I don't really... Either of these games, I wouldn't tell you to pick anybody up. There's nobody on the waiver that I'm like, oh, yeah, go get this guy. No. Nope. All right, the Jets and the Titans. This is a game. I'm just going to say this, too. Like, Will Levis is another guy that he needs way more development or he's just not it because he also, yuck. Rodgers is starting to kind of come around. We're starting to see a little bit of old Rodgers, but, like, he's old, man. Like, these are weak-ass numbers for an Aaron Rodgers. These are weak-ass numbers, especially for a guy who's got Breece Hall running behind him, and he's got receivers out there that he likes. These are weak fucking numbers. So, Breece Hall, he's looking good, right? Like, 14 carries, 62 yards. Could run the ball a little bit better, but Titans got a pretty decent up front. But, like, dude, 7 receptions, 52 yards, and a touchdown on 8 targets. Like, they're dumping it off to him. They are. And that's okay. We love this. Breece Hall, first-round pick. Like, you're getting what you want out of him. Do I believe in the Braylon Allen thing? I don't. I'm not buying into this Braylon Allen nonsense. I don't know why they split the way they did. You know, a few more of these carries should have gone to Breece. He should have probably had like 17, 18 carries. And these targets, you know what? It is what it is. Like, he got the tutty. It happens. But I'm not buying into the Braylon. There's no reason Braylon Allen should be in the red zone though. Zero. Like, I don't. This is why the Jets are who they are. On the Titans, Tony Pollard looked pretty good. Tony P's gonna keep doing his thing. Tyler Boyd, I liked what I saw out of him. I wouldn't pick him up, but I would certainly put him on my watch list. Calvin Ridley, he did all right. I know he caught the touchdown. I know he had a couple good passes, but like that touchdown catch was a miracle catch. It really was. Like he was going down to the ground. Sauce had amazing coverage on him. Yeah, that's. I don't like anybody on the Titans. I don't. I would put Tyler Boyd on a watch list just to kind of keep tabs on him. I did like some of the things I saw out of him. All right, let's Seahawks and Patriots. The Patriots should have won this fucking game. The Patriots should have won this fucking game. Uh Zach Charbonnet looked okay. He struggled running against New England. He really did. DK Metcalf though, like woo, buddy, welcome back. It's good to see you now that you don't have fucking Pat Surtain draped all over your ass. Jackson Smith, it's great. I love seeing these sophomore receivers start to pick it up and turn it on. Like 12 receptions, 16 targets. These are big numbers. This is good to see. Not if you have Tyler Lockett. It's not great, but this is good to see. I like to see this. DK Metcalf, JSN, like I like to see these guys coming into their own. Zach Charbonnet remains a must start if Kenneth Walker is out again this week. I liked what I saw out of the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson, like I'm a big Ramondre fan. 21 carries, 81 yards. Not great, but he did get in for the touchdown, and he also had 2 receptions on 5 targets, which I'd also liked. I loved seeing Jalen Polk get the tutty. I would like to see him get a little bit more involved. Hunter Henry was like the middle of the field was just wide open. I don't know why Seattle wasn't bothering to cover this, but like Hunter Henry looked great. He is my second top, like number 2 on the waiver going into week 3. He had just way too many targets to ignore. So you have to pick him up. Like if you have like a Pat Fryermuth or somebody or Dallas Goedert or even I'm like a Kyle Pitts, Hunter Henry is worth looking at. So that is what I have on these two. Although again, like such a close game. It's crazy to see New England throwing down with some of these teams. Oh, the Giants and the Commanders. I want to talk about a game I don't give a shit about. Daniel Jones is terrible. I know he fed Malik Neighbors, and Neighbors was all over the place. All over the place. His routes were crazy. He had 10 catches on 18 targets, 127 yards. Got his first tutty, though. Congratulations, young one. Daniel Jones is still terrible. He just is. It was nice to see Devin Singletary like kind of work it out, but let's keep in mind Washington's defense is fucking terrible. So this does not impress me. Jaden Daniels, he's raw. I will say that. He's raw. He did great. 226 yards. 10 carries. I don't... It's not what I want to see. Running quarterbacks, like, I just worry about them. I've never been a fan of them. I want you to be able to have the ability to be mobile, but I don't want you running the ball 10 times. Like, 3-4 times because you had to run out of the pocket, okay, fine, but, like, no. Brian Robinson Jr., though, he's the man, dude. Like, I'm sorry for anybody who believed in Austin Eckler. It ain't him. It's B-Rob. It's B-Rob all day. Zach Ertz is another one that I think you should put on a watch list. Keep tabs on him. Or if you have a very deep league, or if you're really in trouble with tight end, you can look at picking him up. Scary Terry, man. I'm sorry for anybody who drafted Scary Terry. I faded Scary Terry. I'll admit I did. The Giants, other than Malik Neighbors, yeah, no. Wan'Dale Robinson, I do still like. He does tend to get a lot of targets. He lacked in this one. That's fine. I'm okay with that. What are we looking at? Who's next? Chargers and the Panthers. Okay. The Panthers are terrible. You start anybody that's playing against the fucking Panthers right now. They're fucking awful. They are awful. They just are. Bryce Young got fucking benched. Number 1 pick, benched. They're starting Andy Dalton next week, which I am excited for. I think Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen might have, and possibly even Jonathan Mingo, depending on how they set up their depth chart, they're going to have a fucking heyday. Because Andy Dalton likes to air that shit out. He likes to fucking throw the ball. He has a big arm. He did it in Dallas. He did it in Cincinnati. I'm excited for the receiving core in Carolina. If you're doing DraftKings or FanDuels or whatever, Carolina's receivers could be sneaky good this week. Sneaky good. Like guys you could probably get for like 4,000 or less. So keep an eye on that. On the other hand, J.K. Dobbins remains to show why he was the number one waiver pickup last week. He looked incredible. Gus Edwards did get a lot more carries this. They are keeping it split. I do like that they're keeping that way. But if J.K. Dobbins keeps these numbers up, like this number is gonna go down. Like he just is. Like you're not gonna keep giving the ball to Gus Edwards, who's averaging 3.5 yards a carry, if you can fucking give more carries to him, who's averaging 7 yards a carry. That's just how it works. Quentin Johnston, it was nice to see him show up because there was a lot of speculation around him in the offseason. So I'm glad to see he showed up. 6 targets, he caught 5 of them because, like, Lord knows he was dropping fucking everything last season. Lad McConkey, I'd like to see get targeted a little bit more. Quentin Johnston is a top pickup. You do need to go get him. Like, they are still looking for that number 1 target guy here, and it might be Quentin Johnston coming out after those 5 catches and 2 tutties. So he is a must pickup going into week 3. Waiver wire pickup number 3. Go get Quentin Johnston right now. Pick him up. Come on now. And like I said, over here in the Carolina receiving core, again, could be sneaky good. With Andy Dalton coming in, who likes to throw, he is a gunslinger. He likes to throw it. Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Jonathan Mingo, like these guys this could change. I'm not saying Carolina's going to win, but fantasy-wise, this could change for these guys with Andy Dalton coming in. Hot take. Hot take. What do we got? Okay, Browns and the Jags. Okay, I know he played much better in this. He is a garbage can still. Don't let him fool you. Don't fall into that trap. It was interesting to see that Jerome Ford and Donta Foreman split carries. Like, Foreman had 14 carries. Like, that's kind of a lot. That worries me a little bit if you have Jerome Ford. I don't have him in any leagues, but concerning. Making that saying Foreman might be... like, if you're needing a running back, Foreman's worth grabbing. Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore. Watch lists. Like, I know they're probably on teams, but like, would I start them? No. Like, and it's 100% because of him. I just do not believe in Deshaun Watson. So for that sake, and the Cleveland receivers, like, if you have to, yeah, but I just don't buy into it. Trevor Lawrence, man, I love Trevor Lawrence, and he's just not looking great. It's bumming me out. It really is. Travis Etienne, like he's starting to come into his own, and if he can continue this, I mean, I'd like to see this number a little bit higher, and maybe a couple more carries here. But like, I like to see this. He's coming back into his own, more of what we saw last season. Brian Thomas Jr., dude, this guy might be fucking like rookie of the year. Like, for wide receivers, he might be him. Like, he's gonna make a real running at it. And I know, like, there's guys like Malik Neighbors and stuff. This guy, he's so underrated. He's gonna be good, guys. He's gonna be good. There isn't anybody I would tell you to go get on either of these teams, but just as a quick recap, that's what I think. Not that you give a shit, but I'm telling you anyways, because you're watching my video. This game was crazy. How did Baltimore lose this game? What is happening? What is happening? Baltimore's offensive line is a problem. It was great to see King Henry, 18 carries, 84 yards. That's the Derrick Henry we fucking know and love. Zay Flowers is still a must start. It was good to see Mark Andrews come back. Isaiah Likely did still play a lot of downs. Like, they ran a lot of 2 tight end sets, which does make sense. Like, if you look at this receiving core, it's shit, right? Outside of Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, like, what do they have going on? Rashad Bateman, like, I don't think so. Justice Hill did exactly what I thought he would do. You know, he had 4 carries, 22 yards, but he did get in there, you know, caught his 2 targets. That's a little bit less. I thought they'd dump the ball off a little bit more with Max Crosby coming after him, but I digress. Gardner Minshew. Woo, buddy. Like, this man is just playing like a dude that there is no tomorrow, right? Zamir White, I don't know what's going on with him. Like, I really don't. I thought Zamir White, I will say it right now, I was pretty high on Zamir White in the offseason. I thought he would get that role like Josh Jacobs. He'd be carrying the ball fucking 25 times a game. I expected more. Brock Bowers, another one, rookie of the year, man. Like, this dude is so fucking good. He's clearly, even, I know Adams out targeted him, but like Bowers, I will argue, is probably, Minshew likes to throw it to him. He just does. Like 9 catches, 100 yards, like, this is good. It was great to see Devonta Adams have a bounce back week where he got into the end zone. He went over for over 100 yards. This is good. This is what we want to see out of this fucking receiving core right here. So again, out of these two teams, I'm not going to tell you to bother trying to pick anybody up because it's just a waste of your time. All right. Where are we at? Rams and Cardinals. Ooh, my boy. Kyler Murray. Fucking love Kyler, baby. So this game was sad, right? So I don't like this. I don't. No. I have Kyren Williams, and I was very high on Kyren Williams. I don't want to see him split handoffs with Blake Corum. Fuck Blake Corum. You can wait, motherfucker. This game was sad. I was very, like, I have Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp went down. So Demarcus Robinson and Tyler Johnson they should be added this week. There is no Cooper Kupp. There is no Puka Nacua. Tutu Atwell could maybe even be thrown in there too. I don't know, like, they have not released what their depth chart's going to look like now that Cooper Kupp is not going to be in it. Like, who's going to play? I'm going to assume it's Demarcus Robinson, and I don't know if they're going to play Tyler Johnson or Tutu Atwell. So, like, I like Tyler Johnson a lot from what he's showcased in week 1. But Tutu Atwell also, he's an easy choice. He played last season. He looked pretty good too when Cooper Kupp was out. So that's what I think there. So Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell, Tyler Johnson. I'd put in on one of them. Go with your gut, whoever you feel like. I like Tyler Johnson. On the Arizona side, my boy Kyler Murray looking good. 3 tutties. And welcome to the motherfucking NFL, Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's go, baby. Like, I drafted this guy in the 2nd round, and, like, we all got punched in the fucking goddamn throat week 1 when he had 4 fucking yards on 1 catch. But my man showed up. He was like, I'm here to play. This is why I was drafted. Number 4 overall. Marvin Harrison Jr., 4 catches, 130 yards, 2 tutties. That's what I like to see. What I am hoping to see happen, I'm a big fan of Michael Wilson. I am hoping with Marvin Harrison picking up and doing well that Michael Wilson starts to see some more targets, and that maybe, like, they're going to fade the defense towards Marvin Harrison, which will open up Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson is a good route runner. He's got good hands. He's a big-bodied receiver. I think he's going to be good. Trey McBride also, he's amazing. So Michael Wilson, add him to your watch list. Greg Dortch also, add him to your watch list. Both of which I think are worth looking at. James Conner doing James Conner things. Like, anybody who tried to fade that man, they're just dumb. Like, I know Trey Benson got 11 carries, but look at this. He had 11 carries for 10 fucking yards. James Conner had 21 carries, 122 yards. Like, James Conner's not going anywhere. He ain't losing his fucking job. He just ain't. He's way too good when Kyler's in there. Way too good. So, coming out of this, Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell, and Tyler Johnson are the targets. I would watch list Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch. Keep an eye on them. Steelers and the Broncos. Oh, God. All right. I don't like anything out of these teams. I really don't, but we will talk about it. Justin Fields had another start. He looked okay. Not fantastic. Could have been better. Najee Harris, 17 carries, 69 yards. I didn't think this game was going to be as close as it was, so I thought Najee would do a little bit better. It was nice to see Jaylen Warren finally show up. That's huge. 9 carries, 42 yards. This is what I thought their backfield was going to look like a Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren split. Pat Freiermuth started to get some targets, but nothing really came of it. And they're going to struggle. Justin Fields is not a good, ball catcher. He's ball catcher. Jesus. He's not great. Obviously, that's why Chicago moved on from him. You have to develop his arm, and it's not going to do it overnight. So I'm not going to tell you to get anybody in this disaster, dumpster fire. Denver as well. Dumpster fire. Holy shit. Josh Reynolds is an interesting one, but I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you to do it. with Bo Nix under center. Not that I think Bo Nix is bad. I liked Bo Nix in Oregon. Like, he just needs to develop, and I don't. He's going to be a hit and miss player all year because of the way Denver's built. He just is. Josh Reynolds, though, I will say I am comfortable telling you, put him on your watch list. Let's keep an eye on him. He might get picked up. He very well could be. I only trust putting him on the watch list. That's all I have for that. Those are nothing really to pick up there. Oh, God. The Bengals and the Chiefs. This game, Cincinnati had this fucking game on lock. They had this game on lock. But Joey B, it was good to see. Dude, welcome back. It's good to see you show up, do your thing, whatever. This is what we thought we were going to see out of Chase Brown, right? Like, a lot of us talked about it in the offseason that Chase Brown, I drafted Chase Brown and skipped over Zach Moss because of the efficiency and the explosiveness that he has, and that he could potentially take the starting job from Zach Moss. Mind you, that probably wasn't going to be until a week 4, week 5, week 6 kind of thing. But this is the kind of efficiency I thought I was going to get out of him. Zach Moss, 12 carries, 34 yards. He averaged 2.8. Chase Brown, 4 carries, 31 for almost 8 yards. Like, that's huge. Mike Gesicki, I talked about this so much in the offseason. So much that Mike Gesicki was a sneaky fucking tight end pickup because Joe Burrow liked him. Joe Burrow likes a big body guy. So, like, 7 receptions. He had 9 targets. Like, and I know in the offseason they talked about it a lot, that he liked Gesicki in the red zone. Mike Gesicki is a must-add. Go get him. I do like this, especially with no Higgins. If T. Higgins remains out, Gesicki, go get him. Go get him. Also, this guy, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name again. I fucking just sounded like a dumpster trying to do it on TikTok. He was interesting. He had 2 touchdowns, and they... Watch list. I'm not going to tell you to add him, but watch list that motherfucker. All right, Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes things. He did throw 2 picks, which is why I thought the Bengals would win this game, because, like, he turned it over twice. Bengals didn't turn it over like that. Pacheco went down, which is a huge punch in the face to a lot of us. I think he's going to split handoffs with Carson Steele and Samaje Perine. That's what I think is going to happen. Him and Carson Steele are going to split the Pacheco handoffs. They did bring in Kareem Hunt for some tryouts, so we'll continue to watch that. But obviously, if you have Pacheco, you need somebody. I would go get Carson Steele. Rashee Rice looked amazing. Outside of that, I'm not buying into anybody else on this fucking receiving core. And that is what I got out of Cincinnati and KC. Bears and the Texans. Another game that should not have been nearly as close as it was, because this guy is a trash can. He's awful. I'm sorry, Chicago. You wasted a fucking pick. I'm a Minnesota fan. We drafted J.J. McCarthy. I don't know if he's going to turn out. But what I am going to tell you is Caleb Williams is a trash can. A lot of people keep saying he's going to be the best ever. I don't see it. You looking at these fucking numbers? 174 yards, 2 picks. I'm sorry, what? 5 carries for 44 yards. Didn't you just have this quarterback? I believe his name is Justin Fields. What are you guys doing? DeAndre Swift did not look good. Nothing about over here looked good. 0 looking good, period. They all suck. And it's going to continue to be that. Until Caleb can learn to throw the fucking ball, this is going to continue, which sucks. I really thought DJ Moore might come in. I thought Caleb would throw the ball. I mean, and he threw it 37 times. He's just not good at throwing it. Needs more development. I mean, I can't say he won't develop into a better quarterback, but like right now, he looks like Justin Fields. CJ Stroud did CJ Stroud things. He looked good. Mixon went down, which is, I don't like that. I think Cam Akers is going to come in if Mixon can't go. I know some people talked about Dameon Pierce. I don't think it's going to be Pierce. I personally think it's going to be Cam Akers, mostly just because, like, in this game, Cam Akers took over. Nico Collins is a must-start forever. Like, he just is. Stephon Diggs looks good. Tank Dell really suffered in this. I kind of think he's maybe getting overshadowed by Diggs a little bit here. So that's a little bit sad because I love Tank Dell. But Nico Collins, like, I'm not, again, between these 2 games, there's nobody to really pick up with the exception of maybe Cam Akers. If Joe Mixon can't go, Cam Akers, I think will get the start. It might be Dameon Pierce, but I think it's going to be Cam Akers. And the last, are we on the last game? We are on the last game. This game, woo! Oh, Kirk O'Chain's coming in there. Kirk O'Chain's coming in fucking on Monday night. What? He's terrible on those games. But he did show up. He looked way better not playing in the pistol and playing under center where he fucking belongs. He looked a lot better. Bijan, dude, this is what we were looking for last season. This is the Bijan we were looking for, right? Tyler Algier still did his thing, but Bijan, 14 carries, 97 yards. He was catching the ball. He was running the ball. He looked great. It was great to see. And Darnell Mooney getting a little resurrection. Little Kirko liked Darnell. He did. He was targeting him, man. 7 targets. So I'm going to tell y'all, if you don't have Darnell Mooney, go get him. Mooney is worth adding. Kirk, being a Vikings fan, I'm going to tell you, Kirk Cousins has favorites. And he likes to throw it to Drake London. He clearly likes Mooney. And that being the case makes Mooney a must-add. Kirk is going to distribute the ball. He's throwing. So, Darnell Mooney, must-add. Jalen, man. Jalen, dude. Oh, I thought you had this in the bag. I was real sad that you didn't hit that fucking throw to Saquon for the tutty, but Jalen Hurts, he's struggling a little bit, but he's not he was down A.J. Brown, he was, and that's not an excuse. He's still got a good team, but he's still at 23 for 30, 183 yards. He looked all right. He looked all right. Saquon Barkley did Saquon Barkley shit. This actually, I think, is what Jalen needs to get away from, right? 13 carries, 85 yards. I know they like to run. They have a couple of plays where they run it with him and stuff. I disagree with this. They should not be doing this. Jalen needs to stay in the fucking pocket. If they're going to run the fucking ball, they need to give it to this man right here. Motherfucking Saquon Barkley. Devonta Smith looked good. He did his best with the absence of A.J. Brown. I'm going to say if A.J. Brown doesn't play again, this guy in a full PPR league, this Covey, he's worth adding. In a full PPR league, he had 8-9 points. In a full PPR league, they threw it to him a lot. I thought it would be him. I thought Dotson would be the go-to with no AJ Brown, but it wasn't. It was this Covey guy, so add him to a watch list. Add him to the watch list. If you're in full PPR in a deeper 12-man league, maybe go grab him. And Darnell Mooney is a must-grab. Must add Darnell Mooney. But that wraps up. That is the recap of Week 2. That is my ads. I posted them on TikTok. I posted them on Twitter if you want an actual list and not have to pick it through the video because I'm not going to name them. But that is a wrap on Week 2. We will see you all in Week 3. And, yeah.